done an interview like this.
I know, I know. Yeah, man, it's the one only DJ Chase right here, the pregame appointments podcast, right here on WDJCDB, DJ Chase Radio, the Audible app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, DJ Chase TV, and Atlanta's 105.7 The Phase. But enough of all that, man. We got Latina, I would say Puerto Rican trap, reggaeton, Christian gospel rap, Boston's own, my girl K.Lyte La Melodia. What's going on, mama?
Hey, I'm feeling blessed. How are you?
I'm good. Happy to be here with you today. How's the weather up there in Boston? It was kind of cold today in New York. How's the weather up there?
Cold and snowing, but I think I'm used to it by now. So to me, it's like it doesn't bother me no more.
Gotcha. The bean, is I'm always up there, so I'm always in the bean. So, well, first of all, I want to get into your background a little bit. People might not know you. People see me post you a lot. You're Puerto Rican. Were you born in Puerto Rico or you born in Boston?
Well, in Puerto Rico, raised over here.
Got you. And was you raised in Boston, correct?
Yes.
Okay, what part of Boston you was raised in?
I was raised in Everett for the most part of my life, and I moved around a little bit due to different personal things. But for the majority, I stayed in Boston.
Got you. And did you always want to be in music, or you just was like, you know what, I want to do something else? Like, what made you want to just do music?
Well, since I was a little kid, I actually used to sing at church, and along with my pastor, they would take me to like different churches in like different states and whatnot to sing. And to me, that became just a part of me, a part of the way I express myself, and just a part of my life.
Nice. And who did you listen to growing up? Like, who would you say that you, when you was a kid and growing up as a teenager and as an adult, who did you listen to?
This will surprise a lot of people, but I actually listened to a rock Christian band named Rojo, because even though I like urban music, I actually love listening to like heavy metal and rock music.
Got you. And what made you want to pursue music full time? Like, what made you, say, you know what, I want to do this or make some money from it? What made you pursue it?
I love the fact that music is an universal language, and seeing my talents. One, I didn't want my talents to go to waste, and two, I always believe in if you have a calling for something, go for it and not being scared to do something. So for me, like for example, I'm all about being positive, so I use my positivity to make music, and I'm like, why not make this a full-time career in which I can really reach out a lot of people and help out when I can.
Got you. And I come to Boston quite often, and I know the Boston music scene, everybody, when I get there, people complain about it, but how is the Boston music scene to you? Like, how would you describe the Boston music scene?
Boston scene to me, honestly, like I tend to live in my own world where it's like people, like for example, people make like a certain kind of music and I like what I like, so I'm like, I don't really go by what's trending or whatnot, like over here in Boston. I just go by what I like, if that makes sense.
No, I'm the same way in New York. People think that I'm real picky. It's not that. It's just I just like what I like. That's what it is. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, people. I go through the same thing.
Just like I don't like, I'm not the kind of person to like an artist or a particular song because everybody loves it. If I don't like it, I don't like it, like an unpopular opinion type of thing.
No, I'm the same way, mama. Don't feel bad. And how did you come up with your name? How do you officially say your name? Like, I want, like, it's K.Lyte like, my Spanish is terrible, as you can see. So.
It's okay. K.Lyte La Melodia. So years back, my homegirl Bonnie, that she also makes music, I remember every time we talk on the phone, she never called me by my actual name or my stage name back then. She would always call me K.Lyte. And then one day I'm like, you know what, K.Lyte. So here's the thing, K is like crystal clear, like you can see right through, and light, the light that goes through. And since my music is mostly, positive messages in Christian music, I adapted that. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stick with K.Lyte La Melodia just because I like the sound of it, basically. But but thanks to Bonnie, that's my homegirl. Shout out to her. She's basically the one that came that helped me find my identity in music. Because in life, I feel that we can get lost in our identity in music, and she helped me find mine, which I like it.
Good. Nothing wrong with that, man. Sometimes you need that little push, you know, like a lot of times, even me, I go through it. I'll be like, okay, I need this push or that push or whatever the case may be. So I go through it too. So don't feel bad.
And for those that don't know, K.Lyte does stand for Crystal Light, just for the people that don't know.
Got you. And you know, you do most of your songs in Spanish, you know, and you did the song for me in English. You did the part in English for me. Thank you very much. The heavy workout now on all streaming platforms. You know, do you want to do more, you want to stick to Spanish, or you just want to do a little bit?
Actually, most of my music is bilingual because even though like Clave they're more Spanish than like English. I have new music coming up that is actually bilingual, just because even though people may say, oh, she's a Spanish Christian artist, I'm the kind of person that I like to grow from that, meaning like I'm cool with doing an all English song, which, you know, maybe in the near future we're gonna see that. Bilingual, more English. I don't just stand in one box, if that makes sense to my fans out there. Like, I'm the kind of person that I like to explore. Like, for example, when I'm really in the zone straight up, that's what I freestyle to, English. It's just that for me, sometimes I do struggle with pronunciations. So that's why I haven't really recorded something in English. But that's something upcoming. It's just that I want to give, you know, the best of me. So, but I do like both English and Spanish. It's fun.
For sure. I love it. Yeah. And who's your favorite reggaeton artist of all time? Like who you feeling right now?
My favorite artist is actually a Christian artist named Funky, and he actually has his own record label called Funky Town. And reason why is because through him, I have learned like myself as an artist, like not to be scared to get out there with different genres. Because even though he does reggaeton, he also does like trap. He also got into like mixing rap with rock, and so it's like that fearless nature in him that honestly motivated me to go for it, because I also learned from him to make, you know, different kinds of music. Because it like now, and I don't mean to make this sound bad or anything, but like for example, not all songs have to like say God or Jesus, you know what I mean? Like it can be positive and just, you know, different topics, like switch it up.
For sure. I appreciate that. I'm glad you clarified that. And who's your favorite Latin trap artist right now?
Latin trap? I really don't have one.
Who you listening to right now, though? Who you just listening to right now?
Other than myself?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm the same. I don't be listening. People be asking me all the time. I'm like, listen, I listen to your song for about. I'm like, I listen to everything everybody else listens to. Like, they think I'm this big DJ. I'm like, listen, I listen to the same thing everybody else listens to.
But I'll be straight up. Like, so I recently been listening to this artist called Ares and Forest Time, which are from the record label Fino King Records. They have the song out Loyals in My Life. Since I listened to that song, god dang, I cannot stop.
Nah, I totally understand. I'm the same way. I totally understand with you. And I want to get into the single La Clave, the key, you know this, man. You work with producer Johnny King, correct? Or did he just engineer the song?
Well, La Clave was actually by another engineer. Right now, Johnny King, the upcoming projects are done by Johnny King, but La Clave was actually done by a producer and engineer from Cuba.
Gotcha. That's nice. And what inspired that song? Like, what inspired you? You wrote the song yourself or somebody else wrote it?
Oh, yes. No, I wrote this song. Wow. I wrote this song actually, without exaggerating, like 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Funny thing is that when I found the beat, totally different beat than the beat used, right? That beat, when I talked to the beat maker, I remember that he didn't want to take out the, like, you know, the seller's tag that beats have? He didn't want to take it out, and I didn't want to record a song over a beat that might have sound like stolen or whatnot. So I did my best to record it. And that version, even I listened to it last night, it's way different. So this dude from Cuba, he's like, you know what? Send me your idea, send me the beat that you're working with right now. And he remade the beat to the beat we not know in La Clave. And I'm like, you know what? Can you resend that beat? Because I kind of want to re-record it, because I kind of have a feeling I can do better. And it was day and night the difference. Because I'm like, because the words are the same, but the way that my flow went with it. And then the English part originally wasn't in the song. But I got inspired. I'm like, you know what? We're gonna do English.
For sure. I totally understand, man. I know how that is. Like, even me as a producer, because sometimes people ask me, I'm like, listen, I cannot make. Listen, if I remaking a beat is annoying. Like, I made the beat for that song. Like, matter of fact, I got a remix I got to do now. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do it, because she wants it kind of like, she sent me the acapella. Like I had it done already. But now I have to redo it, and I'm just like stalling because I have to redo it, unfortunately. So I'm like, I don't feel like doing it over. But
I definitely understand, because what a lot of people don't know is that back in my teenage years, I actually did everything myself, from the visuals to the beats, everything myself. And I remember a lot of the times, like, I had a particular person in my life back then that would steal my music. So I would, and this was before I learned, the legal things behind everything. I would have to redo things. And when you have a beat that is already accustomed to your vocals, it is really hard to like redo.
Yes,
so I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's hard to do that, man. And I want to ask you this too, you know what I'm saying, as somebody who, like myself, who, partake in a little bit of Bible every now and then, you know how that go. So, what would you say would be like your favorite Bible verse? Like, do you have a favorite Bible verse, or?
I have it in Spanish, not in English.
Nah, that's fine. You ain't got to recite it. Like, what chapter? What verse and chapter is it?
John 3:16.
John 3:16. Copy. Now, also too, there's something that's really, really awesome. Who's I don't want to say his name wrong. Isel y Conde?
Yacel El Conde.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm Spanish, and it took me a little bit to say his name right, so you're good.
I tell you, my Spanish. Listen, I can read it and understand it all day. When it comes to speaking it, I'm just terrible. Like,
hey, I'm Spanish, and sometimes I have, because here's the thing you gotta understand, right? That there's Puerto Rican Spanish, but then there's other countries like Mexican Spanish is different. And so when, like, for example, I talk to someone from Cuba and they see something or Venezuela, I'm like, what the heck does that mean?
Yeah, when I went to El Salvador, they didn't even speak to each other. I went to El Salvador for my birthday 2 years ago, and it was talking. I'm like, I don't know what y'all saying. Like, I'm in the Bronx, so you know how that goes. You know what I'm saying? And also too, I was gonna say too that La Clave hit the #1 on the Christian Billboard chart in the UK. Congratulations on that. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah.
How does that feel being an independent artist?
Honestly, it feels good, especially that now I am working with a great team. Johnny King is a producer. His job is wonderful, and he only been in the game for like about a year, and he does a really great job. His label, Fino King Records. I'm also getting support from Movimiento Uniendo Fronteras, which translates to movement, United Movements, something like that. I'm sorry, my translation is off, but that and ONMN Records, like, these are people I like to mention because they straight up support me, and my official merch that it's JNL Crafting.
Yeah, we was gonna talk about that. We skipping questions. I was gonna talk about that, but we can talk about that. For sure.
I'm the kind of person that, here's the thing about me, is that I give credit where credit is due. There's a lot of people that, as they're rising up, whether they're struggling rising up or not, they forget like the people who help them out. You know what I mean? And I'm like, whether you're working with the label or you're working solo, you gotta give credit where credit is due. And honestly, I went through so many years working on my own, struggling, then giving my money to the wrong people, and now finally working with the right team. It feels
good. Good. Now, listen. You know what's funny, man? I hear so many people like tell me like a lot of stuff, and I'm like, I wouldn't, in my right mind, never believe that people really be doing like scamming and stuff like that. I never really thought that people actually did that. Excuse me, I was at work today. My fault. I've been up since earlier. I'm not to be rude, but the La Clave video, you gonna shoot a video to La Clave or no?
La Clave, the official video, is actually on YouTube.
No, on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, in La Clave, we're actually in the process of working on another version, which is Fino King Records version of it, and also the remix as well.
Got you. And do you want to stay in the Latin Christian market, or you want to like branch out more, like do
I
different
definitely want to branch out, because here's the thing is that I'm not that kind of person that I like to stay within, because here's the way I put it, right? We all have beliefs, right? And it's important to be firm on what we believe in. Like, for example, I believe in God and I'm not ashamed of it. And when creating music, it doesn't mean that, what else on the bed, doesn't mean that I necessarily have to be like in a gospel circle. You know what I mean? It's like, for example, like the artist like Clave, he has done a bunch of features with many secular artists. And to me, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. I feel like a lot of times people kind of judge people today. Like the whole thing with social media is a lot of judgment that's just totally stupid. I'm like, this is just crazy. Do you like the studio better or you like the stage better? What do you like?
Well, I like both, but my favorite thing, you know what I like about the studio more than the stage?
What's that?
That you can just ignore everyone, and just focus on your creativity. When you're on stage, you kind of have to focus on the crowd, because then now you're in trouble.
For sure. And I understand that. And so, all right, Mama. So we're gonna close out a little bit. So what's next for K.Lyte? What's next for you? You got any shows coming up? You got the good team around you now. What's going on with you? What's next for you? Another single? Another single.
Oh yes, I'm actually working on a single also called No Fake. That single is actually based off of Matthew 6:33, and is a nice heavy Christian trap. I also have a couple other things with La Clave and other songs, and I'm also currently planning a mini tour over here in Massachusetts.
Okay.
And hopefully soon gonna be going to Rhode Island for a tour over there, and we have a lot of new things coming up. Definitely me with Fino King Records, Movimiento Uniendo Fronteras, Wonderman Records, and I definitely want to give a huge shout out to my homie Johnny King, the producer, always up at me, Jane out crafting, and yeah, there's a bunch of stuff to expect. And if anyone is wondering, I'm always open to new opportunities.
for sure, Mama. And one of the last questions is: do you want to stay independent or you want to go major?
Me, if here's the thing: if a major label, right, had let's say they offer me benefits that I couldn't find elsewhere. I know it sounds weird, but it would have to be on terms that match with the terms that I wanted, that would match me being independent. If going major meant losing myself, then I'd rather pass and keep going.
Yeah, for sure. I like that. And my very, 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 very last question, I always ask people this. You're not a new artist. You've been doing this for a minute, same as myself. Do you have any advice for anybody getting into music business right now?
Oh yes, one of the first things I would say is don't give up. The struggles will come and they will hit you hard, and haters will come, especially when you're reaching success. Don't worry about the haters. If they don't pay your bills or they don't send your checks, don't pay no mind to them. Keep doing your thing, and don't let no one tell you that you can't, because you got it.
There you go. My girl, K.Lyte La Melodia. You know what it is, man. Thank you for coming on the platform. We're going to blast this out. Where can people find you on social media?
They can find me on Instagram, K.Lyte La Melodia. On Facebook, I do have 3 pages, La Melodia, La Melody, and K.Lyte La Melodia. Yeah, because I have different fan bases.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
I have, different communities.
Listen, I give people credit. People who can stay on Instagram and shit all day, I give y'all credit because I'll be on there. I make it look good, but I hate being on social media. Like I make it look good, but you know this, man. Yeah, you know this, man. K.Lyte La Melodia, you know this, man. We had DJ Chase, the single out now, La Clave on all streaming platforms. Go stream that. DJChaseRadio.com is on there. It's in rotation. You know this, man. DJ Chase, the Premium Part of his podcast, right here on WDJCDB, DJ Chase Radio 105.7 The Phase, Atlanta, DJChase.net. Get that merch. Audible app, Spotify podcast, Apple Podcast, and YouTube DJ Chase TV. Yeah.